Good morning. We're back working on the bucket. It's been a while. Today I wanted to start working on these PartSpy Supercharger adapters, which adapt over the Jaguar Eaton M112 over to the M60 and M62 BMWs. It currently does have a set of adapters on there from Toolman, which have worked out pretty good. But the Toolman adapters use the Jaguar side feed injectors. And I wanted to get over to the PartSpy adapters that use the, generically Bosch Gen 3 or whatever style injector that you want to use that will fit. I picked up these IWP 189s. They are Chinese copies, and I have no idea if they're actually going to work or flow worth a damn. To find out if they work and see if I can match a set here, I picked up one of these guys, little flow tester. Picked up 16 of these IWP 189s, hopefully to get a match set of 8. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. So I've got 4 of them set up in here. You can see I sprayed a little bit through them just to get familiar with the machine a bit. So we can start with a leakage test and see if the injectors are holding pressure. And we'll start that up. The pump starts building pressure. I've got it set to 43 psi with Let's go right for the kill. Let's go high spray volume here. So let's stop it at like 70 on the beakers and see where they flowed, huh? Oh, yeah, those are all over the place. So those 2 are okay. Actually, those 3 are okay. 1, 2, so this one's flowing under on the high speed. So
a few moments later.
I'm into my second batch of 8 from a different supplier. They have a different color band on them. So we'll see what that means. But we'll see what they do mixed with the previous batch. Actually, 80, 80, 80. So these 3 are a match. This guy is just slightly high. So the reason I chose these IWP 189s, I really liked that cone spray pattern from the 12-hole nozzle. That spray pattern, that atomization is freaking awesome. This is the mock-up on my spare M62 engine. It'll serve up for mock-up purposes before it goes on the actual engine. I have flowed some injectors. I've got 8 of them that are within plus or minus 3% of each other, which is as close as I'm going to be able to get. If you don't have to use those eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, whatever, Chinese copy injectors that you can get for a couple $100, don't. But if you're broke like me, you gotta keep moving forward on your project. The injectors are so short, I'm going to have to get a little creative to be able to fit the EV1 connectors in here. There wasn't quite enough room on this side. PartSpy does recommend the use of, I believe it's a GM or Cadillac injector, I'm not 100%, but it's a taller injector, and probably works on his adapters way better than what I found. But they fit, they work. The adapters are universal left and right. You can switch them around any way you want. I marked them because I chose injector flow that I thought made sense using the Jaguar manifolds. So the ones that were within 3% leaner are on the front, and they kind of get richer as they go back because the air inlet side on these Jaguars come in from the rear. Made sense in my head. Who knows if that's actually the reality of it. But so far, I think this is going to keep moving forward here. Sweet. Started tearing it apart. Let's see how those adapters fit on here. We are down to the original adapters. Those are the Toolman adapters. And the whole reason I wanted to go with PartSpy was to get away from these side feed Jaguar injectors. I believe they're rated at 360 cc, which is like 34, 35 pounds an hour. According to calcs and math and everything, you know, they're supposed to support up to like 500 horsepower or more. But I was seeing like 93% duty cycle at the high rev at 8 psi. So, okay, PartSpy adapter next to the Jaguar adapter. I'm thinking the PartSpy might just be ever so taller. Okay, I trimmed up the provided gasket. I tapped down the raised provisions. This is a metal shim gasket. So if you're going to trim it to fit on the head side like that, use tin snips. I don't even know if this is how it's intended, but in my mind this seems to be the best way this gasket fits. Cool, keep moving forward. So BMW very graciously used 7mm hardware for the intake manifolds. I just ran a tap down each one of these threads, and I need to pull that one off and run a tap down that because the threads are feeling pretty boogered for some reason. Maybe just gooped with stuff. These are the supplied bolts from PartSpy. Because they're 7mm, is that going to focus? Not going to focus. They're a 9mm 12 point. The only 9mm 12 point I had was a gear wrench that I just had in my hand, but now I can't find it, so I'm going to spend the next hour or so looking for the 9mm that was just in my hand. But
The next day.
can you think of a more perfect project day? Good morning. Day 2 of this install. Ooh, what is this critter? What have I got here? Oh, you're going to let me open the door? Okay. I don't know if I want to walk past him. We made it past my personal security there. Okay, so I got the fuel system kind of mocked up here. There's the fuel inlet. There's the crossover. There's the outlet going through the fuel pressure regulator. And then the return back to the tank. I don't usually like doing brass fittings on stuff, but that's all I can source in my little town here. Uh-oh, fuel leak number 1. Is that an NPT fitting or is that a fuel injector O-ring? I don't see it spraying out of the fuel injector O-ring. That is... slowing down. No. I'm inclined to say that's an NPT fitting. Let me address that. Okay, got that NPT fitting out of there. I think so far on this installation, I think that's my biggest complaint was that the PartSpy was awesome enough to include a 6AN to 1/4 inch NPT adapter on one side of the rail, and the other side was plugged. So if you're going to do like I do, where you do a crossover and run it as a through system, when you pull the plug out, it was so overly unnecessarily uber tight. It took some massive muscle and extensions and breaker bars and cheater bars to get that plug out of there. And then when I did, I noticed the threads were just a little chewed up from how tight that plug was in there. So I'm going to run a tap down it to clean it up just a little bit, clean it out and put a little bit of sealer on that NPT thread and put that adapter back in there. Let's give it a shot here. We got fuel pressure. Okay. Are we holding back here? So far that's good. How are the injectors looking? Let's see. Okay, how about up front here? Okay. Oh, wait. Or am I just being paranoid? I think I'm being paranoid. Okay, other side. Okie dokie. Those are still sealing. And the rearmost. Uh-oh, wait a sec. That looks wet. No, I'm just being paranoid, I think. The injector's holding. We're not dribbling out of the intake ports here. Okay, how about the other side? Okay. I did do the pressure test on the injector machine, but good to take a look in here now too. Okay, sweet. I hope we have a sealed fuel system. So check it out. It is back together, and it is with the PartSpy adapters. I had to put my smaller idler pulley on here, but I really dig having the fuel rail in there and a nice little mini fuel injector. I was able to clean up the wiring some. The injector wiring gets run on the inside of the rail underneath the intercooler, so that just leaves just the coil wiring now on the outside. Which, let's give it a test fire. I've already taken just a little bit of fuel out of it. I haven't cranked it yet. I don't know exactly how much fuel to take out, but I'm going to have to retune the whole VE anyway. But for now, let's get it to fire up here, huh? That lope at idle is my tune. I don't think that's a misfire. I may take the lope out just for diagnostics until I get it tuned, but for right now I just wanted to get it running. Plus it's a lot cooler with a lope, right? The exhaust note's a little different than what it was before. It sounds better, it sounds deeper. And I don't know why, other than maybe sealing up some vacuum leaks maybe? Or I have some new vacuum leaks maybe? I don't know. We'll let it get a little more heat in it and I'll see what it does if it responds to throttle. Do I have the computer still hooked up? No, I don't. Okay. Holding, let's see. Feels dry. How about this one? one's dry. That one's dry. Oh, one more and I'm home free. Let's see. Okay, that one's dry. So far, so good. How far are we at? No, a little rich. I can come up a little bit, but it's good while it's warming up. Response to throttle. Wonder if I can steady it and see if it's got a miss or not. Yeah, sounds pretty even, just above idle. We might be good to go now to start the tuning process. Okay, we are out and running, letting it warm up a little bit. I've got the laptop going with the Tuner Studio, VE Analyze Live. I've got the cicadas ringing in my ear, as well as an exhaust note. And I'm going to let this thing kind of self-tune for a while. And I'm curious to see what it does with the VE, with the changes. Okay, first test drive. I took it to my little downtown, which is absolutely packed and overrun with people and very limited parking, so I had to park in our third level of our parking garage, which is very rare for this town. But anyway, I can smell a little bit of fuel. I do see just a very, very tiny little bit of weeping out of that 1/4-inch NPT fitting on the backside there again. I will address that when I get back. Yeah, let's see. So on the tune side, I went from the required MS was originally 15 milliseconds. I'm now down to 8. And with that 8 millisecond as the required MS for 100% VE, it looks like the VE AL is taking some fuel out in cruise just because of the properties of these injectors. I might save up my pennies and get an actual genuine set of these Weber injectors, so I'm not so worried about them. As far as proof of concept and everything, it seems to be a win. And keep moving forward. Okay, driving it around for the day. I smoothed out the idle so I can do some diagnostic work on it. I think I have lower gasket sealing issues. I'm going to have to come up with a solution for the lower gasket. Because if I do the spray around at the lower manifold, it's on both banks too. It's that lower metal shim gasket. Yep, I have some vacuum and boost leaks. So, tear it apart, make some gaskets, put it back together.